Hey everybody, welcome to this Board Game Life episode number 114. What?
114.
Oh, that's what that was. I also heard some kind of echo that also kind of got me too. But anyway, every show's like the first one. This is This Board Game Life, episode 114, also 114, or 1 and 14. There's so many different ways to say it. Titled Gaming Hopes for 2026. And my screen just went black.
Yeah, it did. Wah, wah, wah.
I wonder what that's about.
Your camera shut off?
The little light went off on it.
Yeah, you have no camera now. I can still hear you. Yeah. We're still live!
Yeah. Anyway.
Sort of.
We'll see what happens.
You want to troubleshoot and I'll take over here? If you can't get it back, then we'll have to quit and start over.
Yeah. I don't know what there is to troubleshoot, but hey.
Unplug a camera and plug it back in again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Should I check to see if my refrigerator's running?
You might need to. I think you just reached over and unplugged it. You're like, I really don't want to record today. I'm tired. I'm just going to unplug this. And Mark will never know the wiser.
Yeah.
But I am way too smart.
SMRT smart.
SMRT. So all of those, if you're listening to the audio of this, and this is the audio that actually goes out, Rob's camera just went off right after we started. We've been connected in here for what, close to an hour, almost an hour. Well, it took him a long time. He's been having some technical issues today with his camera and his headset for some reason. But we've been on here for at least a half hour, chit-chatting, prepping for the show. So we hit the go button, and less than a minute in, boop, his camera just shuts off. Hey, he's back.
Yeah.
Oh, so might be one of those types of episodes, but we're just going to keep going.
Yeah,
because that's how we roll. But
yeah, this camera apparently went to sleep for some reason.
Nice.
While it's being used, but then again, who knows?
You gotta love technology.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, we are on YouTube. As if you're watching this, you would know that we do our video. We do the podcast every other week. We do an audio and video format, so you can watch it on YouTube. You can listen to the audio on YouTube. You can also listen to the audio on your favorite podcasting application. Just search for This Board Game Life to find the audio podcast out there. We also be sure to check our YouTube page and like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified when new content's dropping. There's actually new stuff coming out the next couple of days. So I just give you a hint, my month in review for December, January. Rob, I realized the other day I haven't done my month in review since November.
Oh,
so
wow.
I cranked those out today, and those will be releasing over the next couple of days. So, but yeah, check out the videos, playthroughs, reviews, unboxings, all kinds of fun stuff. And again, like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies, tell your parents, your grandparents, cousins, uncles, aunts, dogs, cats, sisters, brothers. Everybody.
Did you say mailman? Tell the mailman.
Oh, I did not. Let the mailman know. Yes.
Because the mailman can tell everybody else in your neighborhood.
There you go. Saves you half the work. Just say, dude, get the message out for me. Mm-hmm. Or ma'am.
Exactly.
So, all right, Rob. What have you played? I know you got a game played. This.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so I got Misfit Heroes in the mail. This is a game from AEG that I backed a while back. And it came the other day in kind of like an interesting setup. So it came in two boxes. There was a small box and a big box, and it had been so long since I backed it. I don't remember what I backed. And I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on with these things. So one was like a Ticket to Ride size box, like those ones that are behind me, big square one. And there was this little guy, maybe just a like those boxes that the Point games are in, like Point
Yeah.
Galaxy, Point Salad, and all those. It's like that size approximately, but maybe twice as thick. So I was like, what is this? And there's stuff in each one. But it turns out that the small box is the actual normal game. And the big box is where all of the extra goodies came in from the Kickstarter campaign. That was where there was like playmats in there. There was upgraded card sleeves because the normal game just. So this is one of those. Think like John D. Clare's Mystic Veil or Custom Heroes or what was that one? Ruins.
Unstoppable.
They'll play one with the
Oh,
cards where
Ruins. Yes.
ruins, yeah, where you slide them into the sleeves. So it's along those lines.
Okay.
And so they had like upgraded sleeves in it's like Maximum Obscurity, I think is the name of the bigger box. But yeah, it had upgraded money, upgraded tokens, and all that. So once I got that figured out, I was good to go. And while I was originally setting up the game, it reminded me of how much I hate peeling the plastic of those clear cards. That like sucks so bad. But I've done it before, right? With the prior games, and you kind of get through it. But this time around, I actually did a little bit of research online, and I found an easy way to do it.
Oh yeah.
And that's so at least you could do that with this game.
Give your son $20 and tell him to do it.
Oh man, no. I don't trust anybody else with this because they would like trash the game.
Yeah.
Like like ruin the cards, scratch them up and stuff. But what I was going to say was that it was if you take the card and then you take a little bit of some kind of tape. So I use Scotch tape. You could do any tape that sticks really well, but at the same time doesn't leave any kind of residue. So I just looped it around my thumb a couple of times, and then if you just hold it on top of the corner and like pull down, it lifts the corner enough for you to like totally peel it off. So I did probably all 96 cards. It was taking me like 3 seconds each. So it still took, probably at least 5 minutes, if not 10, to do it. But that was a lot better than sitting there picking at it.
Yeah. Yes. That's a great idea. Pro tip.
Exactly. But are you hearing any echo, by the way?
I am not.
Because I am hearing myself coming back from like slightly delayed for some reason.
No, everything sounds okay.
Which worries me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So in other words, let's make it a short show so when we have to re-record it.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, I spoke a lot on Misfit Heroes already. Let me wrap it up. Misfit Heroes is a pretty cool little game where you have these normal cards and then you slide in the clear plastic cards in front of it. And the way that it's set up is you have 96 total cards and then 96 of the clear cards. So what you basically do is you randomly put all of the clear cards into the regular cards. So now you're basically randomizing all 96 cards. And they did a really nice job with the production of this because when they're sleeved, it looks like a permanent card. It's not like an obvious plastic card, with different print. I mean, it is slightly different, but it looks pretty good. So, kudos to AEG for doing that. And the gameplay really reminds me of kind of like a Castle combo on steroids.
Oh, yeah?
So very similar in aspect where you're building a tableau. So this is a 4x4 tableau of cards in front of you. Castle Combo was what, 3x3, I think?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a 4x4. You got to one up it because if it's 4x4, it's not like 3x3. It's
That's
not
right.
stealing a concept.
It's one more.
Exactly. Kind of like, 7-minute abs versus 6-minute abs. That's a something about Mary reference there.
Yep.
Anyway, so it's pretty cool how you have all of the different variability with the cards, and you're building your tableau. Cards activate sometimes when you play them. They activate other cards, and ultimately you're just trying to score the most points. You can get points based on the cards that you place on the table. They're usually like 1 point each, but then there's these tokens that you buy with resources, and they'll give you like 12, 11, 10 points. Somewhere along those lines. It started at like 7, they go up to 12, and that's your big scoring throughout the game. But really interesting game. Looking forward to getting some more play with it, and that is Misfit Heroes, new from AEG, probably hitting stores sometime soon, going out to retail backers now. I mean, Kickstarter backers now.
Yeah.
But what have you played?
I did get to play The Hobbit there and back again. So I did a solo play and recorded that. So if you're interested in seeing what the game looks like, how it plays, at least in the solo version, I have a video up on our YouTube channel. Go check that out. I also did play it with a couple other people at my recent game night. So I've played it both solo and with 3 players, and it's a fun game. I actually like it. It is if you're familiar with Dungeon, Dice, and Danger, it's very familiar to that, as there are, I think, 8 to 10 missions, and it plays up to 4 people. Everyone gets this book. It's actually pretty thick. You get this book, which is, and you open it up to the different various chapters, and you're all playing the same chapter, but everyone gets their own book, their own dry erase board or marker, and you check everything off and do all your markings in the book. And you are drafting dice. So the active player will take the 5 dice and roll them. They take 1, and it goes around, and everyone takes until the dice are gone. So in a 4-player game, the first player actually gets 2 dice while everyone else gets 1. And then you do the actions on the dice, and then you pass the first player token, there's not a first player token. I used one just to keep track of who was first player, but pass the dice, and they roll, and they're going to end up with two dice, and everyone else gets 1. And you just, it's so you're rolling, it's a roll and write, but you have to draft the dice for what you want to do on your turn. And each little chapter is a different story in the Hobbit movie or in the Hobbit book. So you're kind of going through up till the Battle of Smaug from the Hobbit. I think that's, if I were correct, I think that's how it works. But it's fun. It's a quick game. It plays really well. It's got really nice components, and I really like it.
And a nice insert too, right?
Yeah, one that I printed. So
yeah.
the
ditto.
Yeah. So there's that. Then I played Unlock, the escape room game, In Pursuit of the Iron Mask. I got like 2 copies of this in with when I ordered some
little
stuff.
Ones, right?
Real like tiny pack, yeah. I mean, it's they're smaller, I think, than a normal deck of cards, but roughly a little bit smaller than a regular deck of cards.
Oh,
and it's like an escape room.
New ones, yeah. Because they used to be, I don't know, about as big as 2 decks of cards, sort of, but now they're smaller.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's I think there's 90 something cards in the deck.
Yep.
So, but this is like the second Unlock game that I've played. I just don't like them. I just really don't care for them. So, I gave both. I tried one, and then I gave. Like I said, I don't know why they were in the box. I put some kind of promo or something from the place I ordered from, or it was a mistake, but there was 2 copies of it in there. I tried one, and then I gave both to some other friends in my game group, gave them both away. I did play more Blood on the Clocktower. I had hosted a Blood on the Clocktower game at my house. We had 10 people playing.
Oh, wow.
3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We had 9 people playing with the 9. A 10th is the storyteller. We did have like 4 people back out. Well, we were supposed to have like 14, but we got to play like 3 games of it, and it was really fun. Had a really good time. And it is fun. I'm looking forward to playing this some more. It's a very different experience if you've never played Blood on the Clocktower. You're all just sitting in a room, and it's a social deduction game. You get a roll. Everyone gets a roll. No one knows who's who. You're all trying to find out who the demon is and who the minion is, and basically kill them off before they kill off all the townsfolk. So, but really fun game. I do enjoy it. Got to play more Puerto Rico 1897 Special Edition, and one of my friends who has like the original game, he even said, "Wow, this is really nice." It is a beautiful upgrade. Everyone that was looking at it was just like, "Wow, this is very impressive," and it is a gorgeous game. If you don't have Puerto Rico, this is the version you need to buy. Plain and simple. It is so easy to get to the table. It is a big box game, but it is by far one of the easiest games to table based on the way they design their storage and everything. I mean, it's just, you just pull out what you need and boom, it's on the table. It's
all by player, and
yeah, it is just about that quick.
Yeah.
So I can set the special edition up faster than people can set up the original small box version of it. Let me tell you that. So, but it's a gorgeous game, fun game. I love it, and I will definitely be playing more of this. And then I got to play more Druids of Adora, Stefan Feld's new game. This is the second time I've played it, and it's really good. Eva just smoked Nick and I badly, like more than doubled our score.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, she just annihilated us, but we had a great time. It's a really good game. I enjoy that. This is one of those, if you're familiar with like Castles of Burgundy, this is by the same designer. And it's some people might call it a point salad, because there are so many different ways to score. And there's a lot of different things going on in the game, and every move you make, it's like, well, I could go here and do this, or I could do that, or I could do that, or I could move over here and I could do this, or I could do that, or I could do that. And if I did that, then it would let me do this, which would score me that, which would gain me, you can start to change some things, and it's really very interesting. Very interesting game. Like when I first set it up, when we first played it, I was just like, oh, this doesn't look like anything interesting, but the game is really good. I think the downfall to it is there's so much to set up. There's a lot going on, and I almost feel like I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze. Like, you got so much to set up to this thing, and it plays relatively quickly, like maybe an hour. We had 3 people. I think we played in an hour. I'll have to look that up. But it's like, I don't know if all the setup and the teardown is worth it. So, I mean, it's a fantastic game. Don't get me wrong. Let me look and see how long it took us to play this. So we had 3 people, and it took us, where's the time? It was right at an hour. So,
okay. So 20 minutes per person-ish, maybe?
Yeah, and it just seems like there's so much setup. There's just so many things that are coming out and you're doing. But again, it was only my second time playing, but it's still a good game. I really do like it. I can't find it in the stores yet. I don't think it's yet in the store. So I have, signed up
everywhere.
Yeah, I signed up to be notified when it's back in restock. Mm-hmm. So I definitely would like to get a copy of it. So, and I
And
definitely will play it again.
if I find it for sale somewhere, I'll buy my copy and then I'll let you know that it's available.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Thanks.
As long as I didn't get the last one.
Yeah, if there's two, you can get me one and hold on to it for me when I come down in May. So
there you go.
But yeah, that's what it was. A lot of gaming, but a lot less than normal. So
yeah,
got to kind of slow it down a little bit. So, but good stuff, and
okay,
it was a good time.
it sounds good. If you're wondering how you can contact us, that's an easy question for me to answer, and that's you can reach out to us on any of our videos that we have out on YouTube. We're also on BGG. We have a blog, a podcast, and a guild over there. And then always there is, of course, email at contact at this board game life. So it's actually contact at this board game life, not at contact at this board game life. You know what I mean. Anyway, but we'd love to hear from you and hear your thoughts on any of the topics that we discussed or anything else in general. All right, so let's go on over to the news section. You want to take this first couple over here?
Sure. So this first one that I found I thought might be interesting. Board and Dice have unveiled Entropy. This is a new board game by Tommaso Battista and Simon Luciani and Nestor Mangone. This is planned to release in the third quarter of 2026. And in this game, players are going to take charge of advanced civilizations looking to expand their footprint throughout the cosmos. You will create and build up entirely new solar systems by shaping planets and the ecosystems on those planets. On their turn, players will move their scientists on a main board or to an outer space board of an action tile. Players will construct their planetary bodies and their ecosystems by playing cards and performing actions with their scientists. The game will end when 2 of the 6 main objectives for the game are completed. Of course, the player with the most victory points wins. Imagine that. Such a new concept. And this game is for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in about 90 to 120 minutes. So thought this might be something of interest for people to keep their eye out for this new game, Entropy, coming at the end of, but it should be before the holidays, so we will see. Next, I saw this one. I like King Domino, and it looks like Blue Orange Games is coming out with King Domino: The Lost Treasures. This is a mini expansion that's going to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Bruno Catala's Spiel des Jahres winner, King Domino. So I was trying to figure out what this was. They look like if you're familiar with like booster packs for like those trading card games, or like, you know, I think like Lorcana, or you get those little foil packs of cards. That's what it looks like this is. So you just buy this little pack. So it says to use this expansion, you're going to place all the chips treasure chest side up. After placing a domino, if you have created a 2x2 area of 4 different landscapes, you find a treasure. Either take a face up token and place it on the intersection of these landscapes, or turn over 2 face down tokens and place 1, leaving the other face up. Each treasure other than the Joker features a total of 3 crowns, and crowns add to an area will be scored as normal at game's end. However, the purple treasure has a skull that knocks that area's score to 0. Tokens come in 5 colors. If you collect all 5 colors, you win the game instantly. So, no update on when this is going to release or the cost, but it looks like just a small pack of. I can't imagine this being very expensive. So there's that. And once I see it in the wild or know more, I'll let you know. And then the last thing, I don't know if you saw these, Rob, but did you know that the Board Game Geek has a Hall of Fame for board games?
I do remember that. Yes.
So they have announced their inductees for 2026. And the first one that they announced was a game called For Sale.
Okay, good game.
Is this okay? I've never heard of it. Came out in '97.
Yeah, it's an old one.
This is from Stefan Dora. This says, has endured as a perfect small game to open or close a game night or provide a great break between larger ones. This compact auction and bidding gem distills economic play about real estate investments into two brisk, tension-filled phases. One where players vie for properties with clever, often psychological bidding, and another where they turn those purchases into profit with perfectly timed sales. For Sale remains a go-to choice for introducing new players to auctions, yet it continues to delight experienced gamers with its clean mechanics, sharp decisions, and laugh-out-loud table moments. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think about that one being inducted, Rob?
I think it's worthy. It is definitely a good game. They came out with an updated version about like 4 or 5 years ago called Autorama.
Yeah.
For Sale Autorama. Kind of switched things up a little bit. But there's something about the original For Sale that was like awesome. It's one of those where the cards are two different things. Okay. So like they're money and then they're also
like you've got to use you got to use the cards. So you have to play a card by paying with a card. You got to use the cards to pay to play another card.
Sort of.
Yeah, the cards are money or the card you want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the first inductee. The second one, we just talked about this. Puerto Rico came out in 2002. So in Puerto Rico, players assume the role of colonial governors on that Caribbean island who will oversee the shipping of goods to Europe, the acquisition of valuable commodities from plantations, and the establishment of buildings, each with their own special power or bonus. To do this each turn, the active player chooses one of the available roles. Then each player, if able, carries out the action allowed by this role, with the role's chooser receiving a small bonus. An extra doubloon when trading, a discount when building, or an extra good when producing commodities. This dynamic drives the action in the game, with everyone trying to time their actions to maximum effect as they score points from shipping goods, acquiring buildings, occupying certain large buildings. While the gameplay of this Andreas Seyfarth design is rich and challenging, the setting is unpleasant, with players drafting enslaved laborers from a constant flow of arriving ships to occupy plantations and buildings. As a result, 2 decades after Puerto Rico was released, the publisher released Puerto Rico 1897, which is set in the year the island achieved political autonomy from the colonial Spanish government. So we were just talking about this game, and one of the funnest things is, and I was able to do it the other day, is when you see that the other players have a bunch of goods and you have the option to do the captain ability first, and then when you have enough stuff to basically like it works out where you get to put the majority of your goods on the different ships, because other people, like the way it's set up, they can't play anything because there's no space and you can just load up. I got to do that a couple of times and it was so sweet. Such a sweet moment. So
that doesn't sound so sweet for everybody else.
I don't care. Hey, it happens to me all the time. So when it works out, it's sweet. All right. So another, I played that one. I'm like so shocked it wasn't already there. So I'm assuming that you also approve of Puerto Rico going into the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. All right. So the third one they did was Memoir 44. At its core, the game distills the chaos and urgency of World War II battlefield command into fast, intuitive play. So Richard Borg designed the entire command and colors system to give players meaningful decisions every turn, while the modular map boards, dozens of scenarios, and many expansions provide near endless replayability. Its rules are simple enough for newcomers, yet the gameplay rewards seasoned strategists who understand timing, positioning, and the delicate rhythm of push and counter push. For those that just want to play a fun battle game with dice, it delivers. For others who see its real treatment of history, together with simple modeling of command and control, morale and casualty effects, geographic conditions, and training, MR44 shows how historical wargaming enhances our understanding of world events. So I've only played this once, and I was impressed. It is a really good game. I got rid of my copy because, I did get rid of it. Someone did buy it at the con. So I did get rid of it just because if I get it now, I want to get the newer version because they've, I guess, made some changes with like the coloring of the plastic armies. I didn't like. I think it was like blue and green, and it was like I think the green was the Nazis or the Germans, and the blue I think was you. I don't know. There was something about it. When I see a green tank, I just think that's it's an army tank,
Sure.
And I think they kind of better did. That was one of the updates, was something about the coloring of the plastic in the new release. So I may pick up a newer release of it, but it is a fantastic game.
Yeah.
No. Two more real quick. And the reason I'm reading over these, I thought it was interesting because they talk about, so the stuff I'm reading is not just here's how the gameplay, it's why, it's like BGG's statement of kind of why this game made it in. And I think that's why I wanted to share this. So the next game's from 2012. It's called Love Letter. So with over 12 re-implementations, Love Letter proves that a small game can pack a punch. The 16-card game by Seiji Kanai offers players risk, deduction, and a little luck as they attempt to deliver their love letter to the princess. Players must make a decision upon drawing a card on their turn, play the new card, or play the previously held card. While simple, this decision might provide a player with protection, an opportunity to eliminate a player, or the right amount of confusion for everyone else at the table to not know what remaining cards you have in your hand or how powerful it might be. And with one card removed each round, it's impossible to know exactly what other players know. It's an endlessly replayable light card game that certainly began the 16-card craze that is in full effect after nearly 15 years. So, again, that's another one I've played, and it's fantastic. So I think out of all of these, only one, that first one is the only one, the For Sale game is the only one I haven't played. And then the last one is from 2016, Terraforming Mars. Set in a near future vision of the corporate colonization of space, Terraforming Mars has proved to be admittedly replayable. By combining familiar game elements like card drafting, asymmetric player powers, a half dozen resources, and bonuses claimed by whoever reaches a milestone first, designer Jacob Frexilius has created an evolved game that challenges players to raise the red planet's temperature, adjust its oxygen level, and create arable land. But while players terraform Mars collectively, they all have individual goals driven by more than 200 unique project cards that they will purchase and play. Whether you want to plant forests, build cities, or establish an ocean, you can work towards those goals, yet you need to keep an eye on everyone else because once Mars reaches critical terraforming thresholds for life in the form of oxygen, temperature, and fresh water, only one corporation will end up on top. And it is a fantastic game. It is really, really good. And one I need to get played again soon. I have not played it probably 2 years. And I know people have been talking about it in my group, and maybe this will be like, okay, I gotta bring this one and get this played. So the Hall of Fame.
So many versions of it.
Yeah. And I do like, what is it, the Prelude? The dice game's good. I have that. I did get the Prelude expansion, which gives you like some, I think that's the asymmetrical part, I believe. I think that was an add-in. I can't remember, it's been so long. But yeah, it's super fun. So that's the news that I have. What did you get?
And just may as well just continue with the news from my mouse just stopped working.
Oh, jeez, did it go to sleep?
I don't know. It stopped working a little bit ago, and I unplugged it, and I plugged it back in. And it's a wired mouse, so I can't even blame.
Wow.
Oh boy. Maybe it's time for a new mouse.
New mouse, a new camera.
Yeah, let me see if I can plug it in again.
Do, 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 do. Welcome
Of course,
to
I need
This
a light.
Board Games Life Technical Issues channel. We'll be with you temporarily. Your listening is important to us.
Girl from Ipanema.
The what?
The girl from Ipanema, like do 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 do.
Oh no, I was doing the
song, yeah.
Jeopardy song.
Yeah.
And not the Lost in Jeopardy, back. Baby. All right.
We'll see how long that lasts. Anyway, okay, where was I? So Terraforming Mars, the dice game, has a new expansion coming out from Stronghold Games called Missions. It's going to be hitting retail on March 4th. And why is my camera so zoomed in all of a sudden?
What is wrong with this episode?
What is going on?
What is wrong?
I should just pack it in right now. Anyway, the new expansion is going to have a new color of dice. The purple dice represent influence, and they create a special in-game effect. It also includes new corporations, new project cards, and new mission mechanic that creates more interaction between players. And it's only $19.99, so that's fairly reasonable. And then lastly, I've got, do you remember Tecmo Bowl?
Oh, yeah.
From way back when. So that came out in 87, and there's a tabletop version of Tecmo Bowl coming out later this year. October 1st, 2026 is the ETA of retail release. So Buffalo Games and Puzzles is going to release it, and it's going to be a card game of all things. And let's see. The new card game allows gamers to hit the 8-bit gridiron for a cardboard adaptation of the classic game. There's 12 teams, but only one can come out on top. So only $15. What are you laughing at? My huge head?
Here. Oh, your camera is zoomed in. Like it's like I see one eyeball and half your mouth. That's it.
I suppose I should try to be centered.
Oh, too funny.
Yeah. But let me see if I can pull up my camera control center, which is probably going to re-stream my computer.
That's too funny. So I'm trying to find the. It doesn't look like Stronghold Games has you can't pre-order the expansion for the Terraforming Mars.
No,
it's not on their webpage. My favorite online retailer doesn't have it listed yet, so I'd have to go to my second online retailer and see if they've got it. I want to pre-order that.
Yeah, it just says it's going to be in retail March 4th.
Okay. Well,
I bet the Stronghold Games website probably will have it.
Well, like I said, they don't right now.
Oh, they don't? Okay.
No, I looked at it. So But so
anyway, that is all that I had for the news. Just those two things.
Tecmo Bowl returns as a card game. Man, I remember playing that back in the day. I almost like have to get the card game just because,
And
just for a nostalgia factor.
And at $15,
it's not going to break the bank.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I want the missions. Cool. I didn't even know about that. Look at that, bringing the news to the world.
That's
and
right.
ourselves. All right, Rob. So 2026 has arrived. And we've talked about like our most looked forward games of the year. That's a previous episode. But what are some things you want to see in gaming in general? Like what do you hope for to see? Different, changing, new, old, whatever. What are you hoping for in 2026 in the industry?
Well, I've got a couple of things. Do you want to flop back and forth?
Yeah,
with
sure.
The stuff that we got here. So, in no particular order. Let's see, which one do I want to go with first? What I would like to see is companies coming out with like some fresh new games instead of reimagining some of the old games. While that is nice, that's an irritant for me with some of these companies, which or some of these publishers, where they're on like their fourth generation of the same game, and I just get tired of having to buy the same game over and over. Well, technically nobody's twisting my arm to do it, but like I've got the original Descent, the second Descent, and I've got the third Descent. I still have all three of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a little annoying. But when we like a game, I guess we're okay with it. Maybe I just don't like Descent enough because I still have the original Castles of Burgundy and I got the special edition as well.
Yeah.
So maybe that's part of my craziness. But sometimes when these releases come out, it does feel like, and don't get me wrong with this. I just want to make mention my camera was just flashing some kind of light. Dude, something bad's gonna happen. My computer's gonna blue screen or something. Oh, you know what? It was detecting some kind of hand gesture. I bet that's what happened.
Stop flipping me off and it won't happen.
It's this AI stuff, man.
Turn that crap off.
Yeah. Make sure I have that off because I didn't think I had it on. Yeah, hand tracking is off. Anyway.
Or so it wants you to believe.
Yeah, exactly. It's the light on it is it's there just for show.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's some games that come out where there's anniversary editions or special editions. I mean, that's okay. But when a game comes out and then a couple years later, let's say 2 years later, there's like a second release of the game, to me it seems like they're just fixing stuff that was broken in the first game. And that's a little annoying because while you might have invested in the first one, the second one comes out. If you keep the first one, it's like not as good, right? It might be a broken game or whatever, and there isn't always an upgrade path, so you got to just buy the new one, and that's annoying. And there's been a couple of companies that have done that time and again, and it's like buying the CD. Originally, you had it on record, then you had it on 8-track, then you had it on cassette, then you had it on CD, and now you got it streaming. It's like it's a pain to buy the same thing. Anyway, so I hope there's less reimaginings. of games. If they want to do a separate game in a different IP or something like that, maybe that's okay. But
I
rehashing the
don't.
same game's annoying.
It's kind of like, I don't know, like the Hobbit, there and back again, that I was just talking about. When I was playing it, I'm like, this is like, I really feel like it's Dungeons, Dice, and Danger, just tweaked different on how you use the dice. Like in Dungeons, Dice, and
It had
Danger,
the Kinesia tweak.
someone rolls the dice and then they roll like 5 dice, and like everyone has to use like 2. Like I think so. There's 5, and I think you're using 2 twice or something. I can't remember, but I think you're using 4 of the 5 dice or something. Maybe there was 6 dice in it, but and then like the active player gets to like use the black dice, but then if the other players want to use the black dice, they got to use a certain ability. But where this one is like, instead you're just drafting the dice, but you're essentially still kind of doing the same thing, and it's just wrapped around the Hobbit IP. So in a way, like, do I need both games? No, not really. And I was kind of disappointed when I was playing it, because I was like, oh man, this is just like something else I already have. It's kind of a disappointment. So I don't necessarily like them kind of reimagining it in a different IP, because then I feel like sometimes they're just selling the same game to us twice.
Yeah.
Or, and I know Reiner Knizia has a tremendous amount of stuff out, but then when I was playing it, I was shocked that I'm like, well, this is really this game. It's just a different game. It's just kind of tweaked differently a little bit, but it's essentially the same as Dungeons, 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 Dice, and Danger.
Yeah, it's not a reimagining or anything, so it's
like
really
reskinning
close.
something else.
It's
Yeah.
really close.
So sometimes I feel like that's
yeah.
Yeah.
It does have good production, I thought.
Oh, it does. I mean, I'm not knocking it.
Nice, yeah.
But I now have basically 2 games that basically play the same.
Yeah.
One's a dungeon crawler fantasy type of thing. The other one is a Hobbit, They play a little different, yes, but they're very, very, very close. Very, very similar. So that's the thing. All right. So for me, I'm going to say, and this will never happen, but I want to see faster and cheaper crowdfunding projects. That's what I want. So, like, what is it? Queen Games? When they do like a crowdfunding, it's more of a pre-order. It's like the game is about to ship. And I really wish that, I know it's not what crowdfunding intention necessarily was, but for like these large companies, AEG, Simon, all these people that raked in billions of dollars and then can't get their crowdfunding out the door because of mismanagement. That just sucks for the consumer. And I really like the fact that I hate backing something that's like, I backed something last year that's like, oh, it'll be out in early 27, and it won't be. They always slip. So it's going to be 2 to 3 years before you get it. It's a board game, so I hate that. And I'd really like to see them go. I wish more companies would be like, hey, here's our game. We're just going to pre-sell it this way. I hate waiting so long, because you spend your money and then you got nothing for like 2 years, which seems so ridiculous. I don't know of any other industry that you do that.
Yeah.
So I would like to see the prices come down. Shipping has gotten crazy, and the prices I think are insane for board games. They really have gotten very expensive. So get them to us quicker, get them to us a little cheaper, but not like, I don't mind paying for quality, right? I buy a lot of Awakened Realm stuff. That's where a lot of my money goes, or Dice Throne. That stuff's super good quality. I get it. I know what I'm paying for. But when I get something like Comic Hunters and it is horrible, like, really? Why am I? Yeah, let's improve the quality. but let's not make it cheaper by like giving us, paper thin cardboard. So
Right.
I know it's a pipe dream. I'm first world problems, right?
Yeah.
So, I want it now, Rob. I want a golden goose
I
now.
don't want to wait. Yeah. So one thing I would like to see is some kind of fresh new mechanic. It's been a while, I think, since we got something fresh and new. We've had deck building forever. There's bag building, the dice mechanics, the Yahtzee mechanics, various things. It would just be really cool to see something new that hasn't been done before that really takes the hobby by storm, kind of like how the deck building took off like years ago.
Yeah.
That's it.
Interesting. I'm just trying to think, like, what would it be,
Yeah,
like
that's
for the experts to figure out.
Yeah, that's something that they kind of need to figure out. We could throw so many things into this, like roll and writes. Those have been around for a long time. It's just something.
Yeah.
Something cool and new, and everybody's like, this is so cool. And then there's a million Me Too's.
Like Magic the Gathering. You want the next Magic?
Maybe.
No.
Pokemon, whatever.
All right. I want to see faster releases to our friendly local gaming stores. I find that a lot of these games, especially in the hobby, it seems like if you don't back a crowdfunding project, you're not going to see that game in the store for a couple of years after the crowdfunding ships. Some exceptions, but like you have to, if you don't have a friendly local gaming store near you that actually gets in on those crowdfunding retail bundles, then it's like they make enough to meet that, and then they do maybe they'll do a second run, and it's going to be another year before that actually hits the stores. And it's like, it's so annoying, and maybe that's their whole point. That's where FOMO comes in. Well, you better back it, otherwise you're not going to get it. But I'm sorry, it's not possible for me to know of every single crowdfunding project that's coming out. It's just not. I watch different things that talk about games, and every once in a while it's like, oh, what is this? Like, I didn't, I'm backing one that's like, or I'm watching one that doesn't even kick out till April. But the only reason I don't remember how I found out about it, but it was like pure luck that I found out about it. It's for Dungeon Crawler Carl. Getting the version of Unstoppable along with like a RPG or something's coming out. Like, I don't want the RPG, but I want the Unstoppable version of that game.
Yep.
But now they're like, oh, well, if you give us $5 today, even though the thing doesn't start till April, we'll give you this free poker chip or something. I'm like, really? You need more? You need money months in advance to just reserve my pre? Like, this is so stupid.
Yeah. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Exactly. So, it's like, stop fleecing us, and let your local game stores. They should be your customer, because if they have your game in stock, then us, the consumer, are going to see it, because these companies are selling to these game shops, but it's almost like crowdfunding has kind of like, okay, we don't need the storefronts, we're just going to sell direct to the consumer, but you're also kind of screwing the consumer over at the same time, because you're charging us more even though you claim it's cheaper. I'm paying shipping when I crowdfund, and that ain't cheap.
Tax and shipping.
And so I typically, I'm sorry, it comes out to be cheaper if I wait, but because of the way they're doing things, your friendly local game store may not even get it. Maybe they don't want to commit to have to buy so many copies. Just make bigger print runs of these and get them into the store, and they'll sell. Wow, that's the way I feel. But
that's the risk. That's the risk that they always talk about, like, what is demand going to be, and
Demand is I want your game.
we can do a whole show on
Yeah.
this topic. That's for sure.
I would probably walk away angry.
Yeah.
I want it now. That's what we should title the show. I want it now.
That is every day.
Yeah.
That is every day for sure. So one thing that I would like to see, and I haven't seen this in a while, is I just remember years ago, there were huge releases that came out within the year. Oftentimes they released, at Essen, they released at Gen Con, and these releases were just massive. They sold out, they were talked about. People had huge lines at the cons for them, and that's all you heard about for a long time. I think the landscape nowadays is a lot different than it was way back when, just because there's so many games that come out. Instead of like 500-600 games a year, now it's into thousands.
Yeah.
Right. So, but still, it would be really cool to just have some of that stuff that we saw before, where there's this massive release, everybody's excited about it, everybody's talking about it, and that game just skyrockets into the number one spot. So that's maybe me being a little nostalgic, and I just need to accept 2026 for what it is. And it's not going to be 2010 anymore. But
Brass Pittsburgh, isn't that coming out this year?
Yeah.
That's your big release. That's going to skyrocket.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be as popular.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a niche game, I think. But
Brass Birmingham was freaking number one for a long time.
Yeah, it was.
So
like when it came out, I got that in Lancashire.
Yep.
Like at the same time. And I don't remember them. I mean, we heard good stuff about him, but they weren't like, oh my God, you got to get this game. That hype wasn't there for him. But
Brass Birmingham is still ranked overall number one.
Yeah.
And it came out 2018. And it's currently sitting at number one. So, strategy game, number one. Overall, number one. Brass Lancashire, overall 22. 19 in strategy games.
Oh, wow.
So, I do think that's one that fits your requirement would be Brass Pittsburgh.
Maybe.
So, I think it will go if they do. I think they're going to do justice. So, could be, but I know what you're like. That's one game. So,
maybe what we need to have is that hot new game with that fresh mechanic.
There we go.
That's going to be the talk of the town.
Yeah, it's going to be called, what is it called? The Game Makers? I think that's what it was that I backed.
Maybe.
It's about a game about making board games.
Yeah.
I think that was what it was called. The Game Makers. That's due this year. So that's my big one. A board game about making board games.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I'm gonna throw one out there because of kind of following off what you just said. This might seem crazy to say, but what if I said I hope for fewer new games? maybe not so many. Like there's so many, and I feel like I need them all, and I can't possibly buy them all. I can't play them. Oh, I could buy them all. I feel like I'm buying them all, but I can't play them all. It's just not possible. And I feel like there's, like you said, there's so many. It's not 500 a year, it's thousands a year. And it's just like, which one do we pick? Which one do we get? And then when something doesn't come out and you feel like you got to back all this stuff because otherwise you're not going to see it for a couple years to get to the store. And
it's the FOMO.
Maybe we just need fewer games to come out. Maybe it needs to calm down. Maybe that's part of some of the other things that I'm going to talk about that we've seen in the industry that I hope goes away. But maybe it's because there's way too many games. It's just flooding the market, and we can't, the consumer can't keep up as much as we might want to. We can't buy them all, even though we might want to. Mm-hmm. So I think that could help a lot of other issues too. And if some of these companies that have a lot of games in their library that they are putting a lot of money into, maybe if you put less out on the market, that would give you opportunities to print more, get them into the stores, get them into the hands of the customers, and oh, hey, now I know who you are because I really like this game, from Blue Moon Studios, or I don't know, just picking up. I don't even know if that's a real.
That's a game. It's a good game.
Blue Moon Studios. I think that might be a video game company, actually.
City.
Blue Moon. So, but I'm like GMT Games. So, did I just go black and white?
Nope.
Okay. I swear I turned and then I turned back. I swear my camera was black and white. I'm like, oh no, you've infected me, Rob.
It's probably that pastiness that you got that screws up with that.
No, I'm much darker today. Can't you tell?
Actually,
my lights have been moved up.
No, it's a much better angle, by the way. You're not going dark and bright anymore.
Well, okay,
like
cool.
In the past, so that's a good thing.
So,
but another thing that I'd like to see is, we'll call it like the scene. Comprises like so many different things. The influencers, the gamers, the publishers, and all. I would like to see less drama going on. There's been some stuff that's been going on the last couple years. I don't think it's really necessary. Let's just all get along. How about that? Mm-hmm. And it's about the games, and let's just enjoy that. I'll leave it at that.
All right. And I want to see less publisher closures, despite the fact that I just said we need fewer games. That I guess that could be like, well, dude, which one do you want? You want fewer games, which means fewer publishers. I don't want people like these companies to close, but I just think we need to slow down, not have as many new publishers. It seems like as many that are closing, we're seeing stories of, like we talked about last week, the people from Leader Games some people have left and created their own studio. It's like, everybody wants to have their own studio. We've seen this in the video game world. Rob and I have seen this many, many times. We're going to leave this and form our own. And a couple years later, they close because they can't make it work. And, I would like to see less of that and, get some, I don't know, just, I don't want to see people lose their jobs. I hate seeing a new company get created, talk about great ideas, and then it never comes to fruition for whatever reason, so. And he agrees with me, if you can hear him. He's like, yeah, less publishers. Woof, woof.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So,
that's a big brain topic. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. All right.
And then one thing I'd like to see is that the majority of games that get released are quality games.
Yeah.
This could be a mix of a couple of different things, like quality components, and not necessarily cheapening out, like Comic Hunters, for example. Although that was, we'll call it a budget price because it was only like $25, but still,
it was more than that. But I won't argue with you.
But
there was no excuse for what came in that box, dude.
Yeah,
there was no excuse.
But in part what I mean too is that, just in the base games where, they come out with something and then they just have some nicer components in there as well too. So maybe have some, you don't necessarily need metal coins, but just have something like say like some thicker cardboard or something just where it just has like quality production. The Kickstarters, especially those that are on GameFound, we could say that those overall are quality, but they have a quality price tag.
Yeah.
So it would just be nice if we have some quality stuff that is in the base versions and not necessarily have, okay, here's a little very cheap version, and then there's the super mega ultra deluxe high def reimagined. I'm thinking of Tomb Raider here.
The Redux.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 5 million different versions of it, but yeah, just where it's like we just like get some nicer stuff in the base versions. It doesn't need to be crazy because there are just some games where if there's the super mega version and the retail release, maybe just have nicer money in there. I don't need the playmats and the 8 foot tall, dragon and, multiple card holders and all that stuff. But just some quality games. And things are a lot better. Definitely a lot better than they were in the past. Just because, in the past, a lot of the publishers were small time companies run out of people's basements. Companies were single person companies. And so, I get they were doing the best that they could, but just like to see quality be the standard.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I paid $35 for Comic Hunters, and that's what I paid for The Hobbit there and back again. And I'll be honest, I was shocked at how great it was in the Hobbit game when I opened it up. I was like, wow. Like, even when I got the box, I was like, well, this is heavy. I'm like, this is only $35. Like, I was like, I can't believe how heavy this is for that price. And then when I open it up, I'm like, the books are thick. Like,
oh yeah,
those are quality. Like,
it's like for 3 mil, 3mm, 4mm pages.
Yeah, it's thick, it's durable. It's like, wow, I can't believe this was only 35. Where I get Comic Hunters, I'm like, what the heck is this crap? Like, it's like paper. Like, these are their little quote cardboard was thinner than a greeting card. I'm like, come on, that was terrible. That was really, really bad, and I'm gonna call them out on that every time we talk about quality. It's like, that's not fair. And it's like, well, they had to pay for the Marvel IP. Well, you don't think the Lord of the Rings IP costs money? So yeah, the Hobbit probably could have got off by paying more or cutting on quality to pay for the IP, the licensing, but they didn't. So it can be done. And I want to shout out to Office Dog for giving us quality for a great price.
Yeah.
So, all right. The last thing I have is this one might seem like I'm kind of counter talking a lot like these last three, but I want to see less acquisitions. And I think, again, if we have fewer new games, we won't have as many of these new publishers open that are going to fail. And maybe there can be a better look on quality, getting things to market, getting the ultimate. If you want to be successful, you got to get your game into the customer's hands. And I think leaving out your local game stores is not a good thing. I think you need to get your games on those store shelves. And acquisitions, I think, are good when a company that, has a good pedigree and for some reason is failing, that can be picked up by someone else. But when a company and they're out there are acquiring, that does not translate to bigger is better. It rarely translates to bigger is better. And I see that, Rob, you and I see that in our own industry and where we work. Companies gobble up. The company I worked for before gobbled up a whole bunch of stuff constantly. They don't exist anymore. And our current company is buying some other companies out too. And it happens, but I don't think that's the answer. Then when you get someone that we're too big to fail. No, you're not. Look at Simon, for example, very big, millions and millions of dollars raised through crowdfunding, and they can't complete their projects. They can't get the games out to the people, and they're failing, and they're having to sell off IP and sell things, and it's the consumer's the one getting hurt because we're not getting our money back. You took it on good faith, and then you don't come through. I get things happen, but when you're asking for very large games, $200, $300, $500 people give you up front, and then you don't give anything back because you mismanaged the money. That's not right. And I think you can be too big. So trim things down. Stop just acquiring for the sake of going, hey, we got this game, because you're not going to be able to afford to publish them all. So anyways, that's it.
Okay. I got one more thing.
Okay.
In 2026, I would like to see them come out with a dry erase marker that doesn't dry out. That would be a big wish of mine. Because these games where we have these little dry erase things with a little marker on them. I don't know, I got one here somewhere. Oh, here. One of these little guys.
Oh, yeah.
These are so freaking annoying when they don't write.
Yep.
And I don't know, maybe as part of our gamer credentials, we need, in order to keep those active year after year, we need to make sure that we go to Amazon and buy like a big box of 200 of them just so we have them around.
There you go.
So I remember looking a while back, and I could have sworn that you can't buy just a couple. It's like you have to buy some ridiculous amount of them or something like that.
Could be. I would think Michael's would have some dry erase markers.
Yeah.
That you could buy just in a small amount. So
yeah, probably.
Yeah,
you can always. So the problem with them is that they're fine tip, right? A lot of the dry erase stuff is like the big markers. You can find those all over.
Yeah, because like for the big whiteboards in schools and businesses and stuff. So,
although I think you just dated yourself because back in the day we had chalk, and then the high tech was the marker. Now it's all electronic. They have the stylus now.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Anyway.
I think it sums up our hopes and dreams, huh?
Yeah, that's some fun stuff that we'd like to see later on this year. So we'll see what happens. But, one thing's for sure. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of great gaming all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
Over the next couple months for sure.
Yeah, just let me look back real quick. See which episode it was that we talked about what we want to see, what we're most. I don't have the titles listed here. So, but episode 111, looking to 2026. So you and I had a bunch of games listed on things we're looking forward to coming out. So
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff. So if anyone's wanting to hear some of the things we're looking forward to, and I do recommend you check it out. Episode 111, Rob and I got some very different lists. I think there's only one game that went across. We had two. I think we had two games that overlapped. Everything else was different, which is cool. So
yeah.
You got my list of great games and your list of not so great games.
I'm not surprised you said that. You can just tell we've been friends forever.
Oh yeah,
that great banter like that.
All right. Well, message us, email us, or leave us a comment on the YouTube channel here, and let us know what are some of your hopes and dreams and wishes for gaming in 2026. I got nothing else, Rob.
Okay, yeah, me neither. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. That was episode 114 in the books. We'll catch you again in 2 weeks for number 115.
We'll see you at the table.